Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to another Gemini Scale Model Works video. This is going to be part 2 of the RA5C Vigilante build. You can see a whole bunch of parts on the bench right there, and we're going to be installing all of those parts. Now, I want to bring something up here that I was really not too happy with, and I guess that's par for the course, but let me see if I can get this out of here now. Yeah, there we go. Now, the instructions say, and I'll see if I can get the instructions here to this part that I want to show you. Alright. On this tail hook assembly, they're saying to put it like this with this little notch facing towards the floor when it's on the ground. But when I turn this over, it's got a bunch of detail on that side. You guys can see all of that, rivets and stuff. So I don't know why they want me to mount it with all of that detail on the inside of the plane. I thought it would be, but it's also molded right there to conform to the aircraft body. So I'll put it in the way they say, but they also wanted the tail hook in the stowed position. Any Navy aircraft is going to have the tail hook in down position. So that'll be number 1's going to go in here, and it's got 4 tabs that it just sits on, and we'll put that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that piece in. So my objective today is to get all of this stuff installed on the plane. And then I will talk about some paint. I'm not going to fill in a lot of these places. Like, for instance, I'm not going to fill in the seam around here because this would be another panel that would have to come down for them to get in there and work on whatever mechanisms are in there. I'm going to put all the pylons on the wings. I'm going to install the jet intakes. I'm going to put these tanks. They are tanks, by the way. Put them all together and paint them. So, with all that being said, stay tuned. Let me get situated here, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back, and I'm starting to put this together, and I'm starting with the pylons on the wings because those are going to get painted the same color as the wings. But anyhow, as I'm doing this, there's a gap between the wing and the pylon. And the reason for that gap is because these pins are either too tall or the holes were not deep enough. So the quickest way I'm going to fix this is just to sand these down a little bit to make them fit in there. And then they will fit like this. So let's continue on. So I just have my little sanding stick right here. I don't take too much off, just a little bit at a time. And I'll put it over here like this, and I'll just hold it on my pins. And just a couple of little swipes. And also make sure that I'm clean. Okay, so now there is an inner and an outer pylon. And you can tell by the pins the holes are different. So that one's in, and you can see how much of a difference that made, just that little bit that I just sanded off. Alright, I'm going to continue on this, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, guys, I decided I was going to show you how I do at least one side of these doors. They are a little bit tricky because they're small, and this is not holding it very well, so I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we'll see. So, put the main big door on first, and there's 2 notches and 2 pins on here. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get that in there. Come on, be nice. Oops. Nope. Okay. Come here. you're going to go into this model whether you like it or not. I'm sorry to say that. But I don't think. Alright, let's see. This is falling. Come on, stay there. Guess that looks alright. Alright, so let's do the second part of this door, which this one here just kind of plops into place right there. So I think I'll use the other glue. So that's going to go in there just like that. And then there's one more on the bottom. 3 pieces just for one landing gear. Well, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. See if we can push this down a little bit without. Yeah, there you go. That's what I like to see. And then we got this last piece, which is, oh no. Got it. Okay, so this piece is going to go in those 2 notches down there. Yeah, just like that. I'm using the tomato glue with the white cap. Alright, let's see now. Can we get this in here nice and pretty? Yes. Alright. Oops. Landing gear. That looks pretty good. I'm liking that. Alright, I think we'll do the rest down here on the, because this is not holding it very well. Alright, so you guys saw how I did the first one. I will do all the rest of them and bring you back when all the landing gear doors are on. Boy, there's a lot of doors on here. See if we can straighten this one out a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I don't know, just a little conversation here. I do a lot of the streaming on my TV, and one of the streaming platforms that I use is Hulu, or I also use Roku, and I use Paramount and all that stuff. But anyhow, on the, I think it was the Paramount channel, they do a lot of war history stuff. And while I've been watching that, I found out that a couple of ships that I have built were actually in some of the wars that were happening during World War II in the Pacific and in Normandy. So that was pretty interesting. And they also showed the first atom bomb with the Enola Gay. And I thought that was pretty cool because I have a model of the Enola Gay. And as soon as that came on, I took the model and put it on my little bench that I have in front of my couch. And as they were doing it, it had the same exact numbers. Everything was the same exact as the model. That was pretty cool. Anyhow, I'm going to continue on these doors, and I'll bring you back when they're done. Stay tuned. Be right back. Okay, boys and girls. As you can see, I have all my landing gear doors on there. All the way back to the tail hook. And they are looking pretty good so far. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to try and see how the wings fit, because if they don't need to have any seams filled up, then we will just carry on, because I want to paint the wings separate from the fuselage. So maybe, I don't know if that'll do it. So it goes in pretty tight, and it's got a really close seam up there, so that doesn't look like I have to do any work to that. That looks pretty good. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there right now, so make it start looking like a plane instead of a rocket ship. Yeah, I think if I hold that and glue it right there, I think we'll be good. Just got to be careful where I pick this up now. Yeah, I think I could glue that right down on the bottom. A nice close seam back down there. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to do next, so I'm going to take that out. The next thing I want to do, I'm doing all the small paraphernalia stuff. So, got one of my tanks done. I don't know what's wrong with these manufacturers, but they drill them out. They have the positive locks, but they still don't line up or lock in right or whatever. Still work to do on these seams. But I don't know if you guys can see that seam or not. Hey, look at that. So much higher that is. I don't know why. It's locked in on the pins. I don't know why. Anyhow, that part goes closest to the wing, so I don't know if I'll even bother fixing that, because the bottom part looks okay. And since we're not going to see this part, I'm not going to worry about it. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these guys together. There's 2 on each wing, and then we'll talk about the camera pod. Alright, so let me get going on that, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, we are back, and I'll show you the progress I have made so far. As you can see, all my auxiliary tanks are on there. My little nose cone, I guess that's an antenna on there, is done. These are ready. The exhaust tips are ready for paint. Actuality, this entire plane is ready for paint. And what I like the most about this is the box is empty, except for a couple of pilots and a couple of wheels in there. All the parts are there. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put the camera pod on. I did have to install the one glass in there, or whatever you want to call it. And also, I forgot to do glass in there. So I'm going to have to make a glass with that, and I'll be using... where is this stuff? I'll be using this Tester's window maker. Alright, so basically, this is going to go here, from right behind the front wheel, all the way back, like that. And it's going to get painted the same color. I looked at some reference videos. In fact, at the beginning of this video, you'll see the actual aircraft. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, and then we'll get ready to reprime everything. And I will cover that glass up with some liquid primer. Liquid masking. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, boys and girls, what we're looking at now is a fully primed and assembled RC5. Wait, what is it? I forget what the hell it's called. RAC5, that's what it is. Yeah. RA5C, there you go, Vigilante. It's in a mock-up stage right now. You can see I don't have the wings pushed in all the way. These guys are totally loose back here. And then here's my dart, which is my nose piece, and my 2 exhaust tips. The only thing left on this now is to get paint on it. I am not sure if any of these decals are going to be good. And I've been looking for decals for this, especially trying to find the decals for the squadron and my ship, the USS Saratoga. I have not found the USS Saratoga. I found other aircraft carriers. But some of the squadrons on the other aircraft carriers were also on the USS Saratoga. So I don't know if I want to spend a minimum of $20 for decals and a maximum of $30 for decals. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It all depends if these ones work. Anyhow, with all of that being said, I'm going to end this video now, and I hope you guys and gals enjoyed it. And as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. Gemini scale model works out for now. Bye.